All right. Well, thank you, Mark, for that introduction, and really for just the amazing leadership this last year. We like to say that times have a way of finding their leaders, and there's just no question that the right person to lead council and to lead our church over the course of the last 12 months is Mark Metzendorf. So thank you so much for that leadership. Mark also did an amazing job on building Faith Forward of creating a really broad coalition of members that have been a part of this. Really, way too many of them to mention in the report today. Some of them are referenced in the report that I wrote for the meeting, and many others are not due to space. And so, thank you so much for all of the people from the landscape team to the legal team to our appeals leadership team and so on. Everybody's just been incredible. I just get to give the report. So it's my pleasure to do that today. The first thing I am happy to say is that we are 100% on schedule with our building project. The asbestos abatement is now complete. The select and large scale demo is either complete or in process, and we'll see some photographs of that here in just a moment. The excavations for the new footings are taking place this month. They're roughing in mechanical alterations this month, and we saw evidence of that during our tour through the church on Thursday. We expect the church to be weather tight this spring. So if you have driven by the church anytime in the last couple of weeks or seen the photographs that have been posted in various spots, it is certainly not weather tight now, but it will be this spring, and that'll mark about the halfway point through our project. And we remain on track for a November completion. So from a schedule standpoint, everything is working fantastic. Likewise, for the performance to the cost budget, we are 100% on budget at this point as well. We did have one change order that was related to the chancel design. That was one that we expected. We had completed construction drawings and then made some adjustments to the chancel design, which added about $154,000 to the cost, all of which will be absorbed by the contingency in the project. So 100% on schedule and on budget from a cost standpoint, and need to thank Sandy for all of her work and Alan Cooper for all of his work with regard to making sure that we're tracking expenses to budget and tracking all the data as it relates to the project. So we went on a site tour on Thursday. We're going to show some photographs of some of the demolition of the church, of walls coming down and so on. I think it's really cool. For anybody who doesn't, this would be a good time to maybe turn your head from the screen. But it's just absolutely fascinating what's taking place in our church. So first, we're going to look at the former kiosk area. So this is the area where many of us entered the church from the west. And that is what it looks like today. So what you're seeing there are actually the closets that used to sit in the hallway outside of the church. So that's our kiosk area looking north. And that is the same area from a little bit further back. And so as you can see, construction well underway as we look at what used to be the entrance to the church. The parish nurse's office doesn't look anything like it used to. This is what the parish nurse's office looks like now. There's a big space heater, a big heater that's sitting at the lower right-hand corner of that photograph. You can see what the floorboards look like when they originally built that part of the church. And so that is the nurse's office, the parish nurse's office, what used to be the parish nurse's office. And now we're going into the lower level of the building. So if we were standing kind of right outside the preschool, it looks like that. So you can see the wall mural that's back against the wall. That would be on the west side of the lower level of the church. I'm standing, when I took this photograph, right outside of the boys' bathroom that used to sit outside of the preschool. Here's another view of that room. So what we're seeing there is what used to be the children's choir practice area and the nursery. And so those walls, as you can tell, are all removed, and that is an open space at this point. Another view of that. And yet another view looking, that's back toward what would be the northeast corner of that lower level where the nursery used to be. All right, I thought this was cool. This is they're cutting pieces of the foundation out to create doors. So that's actually a slab of cement, a slab of concrete that was cut right out of the foundation to create the doorway into the what will be the commons area. We actually got to see that saw operating, which was pretty fascinating as well. This is the ramp that used to run from the Sunday school area up to the green room and the Sunday school office, the youth room. So that's on the east end of the lower level. And now we're going to look at the green room and the Sunday school office and the youth room. So this is what used to be Julie Schlifsky's office. It's what used to be the youth room. All of that, of course, is those walls are down now to make way for our commons area. This is another view looking back toward what was the green room. And this is a view of what that will look like in the future. So that's what we're envisioning for the commons area. So we're going to go from something that looks like this to something that looks like this here over the course of the next several months. The preschool has been torn up, of course, and the ceiling is down. You can see that the flooring is up. That trench there is for the drainage system for the sprinkler system. Kitchen and fellowship hall. So this is what the kitchen looks like today. So just the large refrigerator left. So everything that was in the kitchen has been removed as well. So this was, Mark had made a comment in his presentation about nooks and crannies of the church that we didn't know existed. We've actually found some more of those. I just thought this was really cool. So these two gentlemen are actually looking toward what would be the northwest corner of Fellowship Hall. So they're looking, if their backs would be to where the donut table is, if this was a Sunday morning. And what we found up above the ceiling is the former exterior of the Memorial Chapel. So that's actually the corner of the roof of Memorial Chapel that was built over the top of when they built Fellowship Hall. So it was almost like looking back at ruins. We thought that was pretty cool. And this is a view from the other side of that. So that is all still sitting up above Fellowship Hall, and the builders found that as they were taking the ceiling out. Now to the narthex. So this is the narthex right outside the rear door of the sanctuary. There's a view of the roof of the ceiling of the narthex. This is the stairs going up to the balcony. Those would be on the north end of the narthex, and these are the stairs going downstairs toward the Sunday school area. And now for the sanctuary. This is what our sanctuary looked like on Thursday. So of course the pews have all been removed, the flooring and the carpet is removed, and they are hard at work inside that part of the church. There's another view looking toward the east, and here's a view looking back toward the balcony. And this is a view basically standing on what was the altar and looking east toward the parking lot and out the back of the sanctuary. So as you can see, that wall has been completely removed. There's a photograph of that same view basically looking toward the north. And here is the sacristy. So the sacristy is being removed. There's the stairs that were outside the sacristy going downstairs. From the just on the what would be the west side of the altar on the north side of the church. And now the sanctuary from the outside. So that is what our sanctuary looks like. It looked like on Thursday, looking back west from the parking lot. So that's looking into the church from across what used to be the altar. And this is another view. And if you look at this line right here, that's about to where the sanctuary will come when it's completed. So, so we're adding on, looking at it in another way. This is the rendering of the future building. We're expanding out to the east, and that is what that expansion is all about. So this is a view looking at where our administrative building will be. So this is looking back toward what used to be the little playground on the east side of the church building. We're looking southwest is this view, and that is what will be replaced. We'll replace that view. So we'll have that nice patio out there, the administrative wing and so on will all be put into that spot. And I saved the chapel for the end. So this is a view from the altar of Memorial Chapel. And this is going to be the new entryway of our church. So really, really excited about that. We'll be entering, as everyone knows, from the south end of the church from the main parking lot. And the renderings of what that is expected to look like is this. So what you see in this photograph here will be replaced by something that looks very close to what you see in this rendering here. And then looking at that from the other end of the chapel, this is what that view will look like. So I wanted to actually steal from Pastor Bill's annual report, and in a quote that he has in that report that basically says that the pine room is gone, but I can see where and I just have to move everybody's pictures here out of the way, sorry. There we go. I can see where the courtyard with the fireplace will be. I can imagine what the small group East Room will look like as families hang out on Sunday mornings. I can see Sunday school kids running through the new commons, laughing and knowing they are loved. I can see our high school youth gathered together and talking about life. I can hear worship choirs, singers, our organ, and our drums. I can see a place where people can come when life is easy and especially when life is dark. I can see a place where they marry the love of their life and baptize their children. So for me, that quote from Pastor Bill is really what this is all about. And we're so excited about what our church is going to become. Certainly want to make sure that I thank the entire congregation for your gifts, of course, but even more important for your support, for your prayers, and for the opportunity to serve on your building committee as its chairman. So thank you so much for your time and happy to address any questions.